On a different matter, I want to take this moment to applaud the residents of the Eureka Garden Apartments in Jacksonville, Florida, for coming together as a community during a time of hardship. While they face dangerous living conditions and bureaucratic indifference to their concerns, they have remained united and resilient. The bottom line is the federal government has failed them. The Department of Housing and Urban Development has for years certified a living facility that has put hundreds of families at risk. When HUD inspected the property in question last summer, they passed the apartment complex, and they passed it with flying colors. Eureka Gardens received an 85 out of 100. But less than a month later, residents were complaining at tenant association meetings and to their city council members about how bad their living conditions had become. When my staff visited the complex, what they witnessed was literally unbelievable. They saw crumbling stairs and black mold. They saw exposed electrical wiring that had been covered up by a trash bag. They smelled the natural gas that would soon hospitalize residents just days later. That was and that is unacceptable. And my office, along with Mayor Curry of the city of Jacksonville and the City Council and the Tenants Association, pushed for months to have improvements and repairs done to this complex. In February, HUD finally had a date by which all repairs must be completed. When they came back to re-inspect Eureka Gardens, it passed the inspection, and they eventually renewed their contract with the property's owner. But the residents continued to say what they've been saying all along. HUD's inspections weren't working. Just recently, HUD revealed that Eureka Garden passed with a score of 62, and the passing score is a 60. However, a senior HUD official admitted that HUD officials do not believe the property would currently pass another inspection. And so HUD has just admitted that it has certified a failing facility. Something is clearly wrong with the HUD inspection process, and Floridians are being hurt because of it. I'd like to read part of an article from the Florida Times-Union, which was published on Monday, that quotes one of the residents at Eureka Gardens. It says, quote, Dwan Wilson, who said she had to go to the hospital at least 6 times with asthma issues since the mold remediation, cried as she spoke about her apartment's problems. "We thank you all for what you're trying to do," Wilson said. "We thank you all for pushing, but we're telling you, they aren't doing anything," end quote. How many more years? How many more years must the residents of Eureka Gardens suffer under this mismanagement? How many more children have to be put at risk due to lead poisoning and gas leaks? And how many more facilities will HUD continue to rubber stamp approval of, only to further slum-like conditions for the most vulnerable tenants? How many taxpayer dollars will be wasted by this agency on failing projects such as this? These are the questions that HUD must answer. And in the meantime, the residents of Eureka Gardens are forced to deal with the consequences of HUD's failures. I'll continue to look for solutions that help make sure that what's happened at Eureka Gardens isn't repeated elsewhere. Americans deserve better from their government.